In the world of celebrity divorces and public scandals, few stories capture the public's attention quite like the ongoing legal dispute between former NFL player Matt Kalil and his ex-wife, social media influencer Hailey Bailey. This case revolves around deeply personal revelations made by Bailey during a livestream, which Kalil claims have invaded his privacy and caused him significant emotional harm. Legal experts have weighed in on the matter, suggesting that Kalil's chances of success in court are slim to none, primarily due to the complexities of free speech protections, the public figure status of both parties, and the nature of the claims being made. To understand this fully, it's essential to delve into the background of their relationship, the events leading up to the lawsuit, and the legal intricacies that make this such a challenging case for Kalil. Matt Kalil and Hailey Bailey's marriage began in 2015, a union that seemed to blend the worlds of professional sports and digital fame. Kalil, known for his career as an offensive lineman in the NFL, particularly with the Minnesota Vikings, had built a reputation as a dedicated athlete. Bailey, on the other hand, rose to prominence as a content creator, amassing a massive following across various social media platforms. With over 30 million followers, she has become a recognizable figure in the influencer space, often sharing glimpses into her personal life, fashion, and experiences. Their marriage, however, ended in 2022 when Bailey filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. At the time, the split appeared amicable, but underlying issues would later surface in a very public manner. The spark that ignited this legal fire came during a November 2025 Twitch stream, where Bailey appeared as a guest on popular streamer Marlon's show. In a candid conversation, Bailey opened up about the reasons behind their divorce, attributing it largely to intimate incompatibilities in their relationship. Specifically, she discussed challenges in their physical intimacy, claiming that Kalil's anatomy posed significant difficulties. She described it vividly, likening it to two Coke cans stacked on top of each other, maybe even a third, and emphasized that despite efforts to address the issue, including therapy, medical consultations, and even researching procedures like liposuction, they were unable to overcome it. Bailey portrayed the situation as a comedic tragedy, noting that her life often felt like a self-writing comedy. She stressed that they had tried everything, but the physical mismatch led to emotional strain, with her implying that intimacy was painful and unsustainable. For months, Kalil remained silent on the matter, allowing the comments to circulate online without public rebuttal. However, on a Tuesday in early 2026, he filed a lawsuit against Bailey, accusing her of invasion of privacy and unjust enrichment. In the court documents, Kalil argued that Bailey's degrading and deeply personal comments had thrust him into unwanted public scrutiny, leading to invasive commentary from strangers and media alike. He claimed that these revelations were shared purely for entertainment value and financial gain, despite his reasonable expectation that such private matters would remain confidential. The lawsuit highlighted the impact on his family, including his current wife, Kailani Asmus, who has reportedly received disturbing and alarming messages as a result of the publicity. Kalil described suffering from severe emotional distress, humiliation, reputational damage, and mental anguish, seeking $75,000 in damages to compensate for these harms. Legal experts, however, are skeptical about Kalil's prospects. One prominent Los Angeles-based attorney, Gregory Dahl, analyzed the case in detail. Dahl, a partner at a respected law firm, pointed out that while Kalil might technically meet the elements for an invasion of privacy claim, such as the disclosure of private facts that are not of public concern, the hurdles are substantial. Both Kalil and Bailey are considered public figures, even though Kalil has retired from professional football and claims to have stepped away from public life. This status invokes First Amendment protections which safeguard freedom of speech, especially when it comes to personal narratives shared by celebrities. Dahl noted that Bailey is far from the first public personality to discuss intimate details of a past relationship publicly, and there's no clear legal precedent that deems such topics entirely off-limits. Expanding on this, the First Amendment often trumps privacy claims in cases involving public figures. Courts have historically ruled that once someone enters the public eye, whether through sports, entertainment, or social media, they forfeit certain privacy expectations. For instance, in landmark cases like those involving memoirs or tell-all interviews, ex-partners have been allowed to share personal stories as long as they don't veer into defamation or malicious falsehoods. Here, Bailey's comments, while explicit, appear to be her truthful recounting of experiences, framed in a humorous light rather than a vindictive one. Dahl suggested that the lawsuit might even backfire, drawing more attention to the very details Kalil wants suppressed. Ironically, the filing could amplify Bailey's follower count and media exposure, turning a personal anecdote into a viral sensation. Regarding the unjust enrichment claim, Dahl explained that this would require proving that Bailey profited directly from the story at Kalil's expense, and that he deserves a share of those gains. Unjust enrichment is a quasi-contractual remedy where one party benefits unfairly from another's loss. In this context, a judge would need to determine if Bailey's increased visibility or monetization, through sponsorships, ads, or content deals, stemmed specifically from this revelation. However, quantifying that is notoriously difficult. Social media algorithms favor engaging content, and personal stories often boost metrics, but linking financial gains to one specific comment is tenuous. Moreover, Dahl speculated on Kalil's motives, suggesting that his primary concern might be protecting his new family life rather than purely seeking justice. With a young child and a remarriage, the public discussion of his anatomy could indeed be embarrassing, but legal action might not be the most effective shield. Another expert, Beverly Hills defense attorney Adam Michael Sachs, echoed these sentiments. Sachs emphasized that Kalil's retirement doesn't erase his public figure status. Once achieved, it's hard to shed. Public figures must prove actual malice in defamation-related cases, a high bar that Kalil's suit doesn't directly address since it's framed as privacy invasion rather than libel. Sachs predicted the case wouldn't progress far, likely being dismissed early or settled out of court to avoid further publicity. Settlements in such matters often include non-disclosure agreements or public retractions, but they rarely result in large payouts without strong evidence of harm. Bailey's response to the lawsuit has been one of shock and hurt. In a statement, she directed attention back to the original livestream, which remains available online, where she speaks positively about Kalil and other aspects.